So we have here some Abzan Company. Whenever I always introduce the deck, it means I just started recording on YouTube. Just so you guys know. This hand is almost keepable, but one land with no dorks, it is not. This hand is much better. So I want both my lands. I want my noble. I want my druid. Then I have to choose between a Shalai or a Finks. And this is actually a pretty big branch point right here. So if I keep the Finks, then I have my backup plan, my plan B, which is either my plan B and C, which is Finks, right? This is a great 6. So I have, if Druid doesn't die, I have infinite mana turn 3, right? Because I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cord for 2, get Vizier, which means if I have Shalai, I already have one of my outlets. So I'm either dumping Finks or Shalai. Finks is great because Finks works with Vizier to have my second plan ready. Shalai is great because she lets me have an infinite dump here. So I'm either dumping Shalai or Finks, and I'm leaning towards dumping the Finks. Because this way, if I top deck any land, I do have a turn 3 win by attacking with my Druid. Yes, I don't know what I'm up against. Okay, so I'm up against one of my worst matchups, which is any deck that leads Spire Bluff Canal. We drew the land, like I said, so we have a turn 3 win in hand. We don't need any help. Okay, we now need some help. Because we will not have the white mana for Shalai now because Noble's dead. Okay. Again, turn 3 win. We just need them to not have another removal spell. Wizard's Lightning. Oh, this is not Phoenix. This is something else. There's no way they don't have a burn spell here, right? I feel like they would have used it if they had it, though. They've got to have Snap. Yeah, we've ever seen a Snap Bolt. Yeah, alright. Or Snap Wizard's Lightning, more likely. Blue-red Wizards. So Finks would be great here. Shalai is still gonna be pretty good, just not as good. I'm just going to straight up play the Vizier here. I'm probably not going to combo this league. A lot of people like holding Vizier in their hand to wait for a combo. I don't. I like using her as a beater, and I'm more than happy to make this trade here against a deck that runs lots of lightning bolts. The reason I'm not cracking that fetch is I want to draw one more land. So Nimble Obstructionist is a pretty good beater here. Okay, I'm just going to pass here. I still need to draw into a land. Drawing into Shalai I think would be pretty sweet here, or playing Shalai. Playing Company would be good. I do think they probably have a board wipe or something here. I'm going to fall to a 10. So Forest, Swamp. You can see here, right here, is a situation where the basic Swamp is pretty important. Now I'm either playing Company or Shalai. I think I play Shalai and then try to pass into Company next turn. If they have the counter spell, they'll counter Shalai, and then my more important card, Company, can resolve. If they have a Lightning Bolt, they can Grim Lavamancer and Bolt to Shalai, and I'm fine with that. Either way, Shalai is going to be pretty good for me. Oof, a little rough. I have to block here. Unfortunately, I can't go down to 4 against a Lavamancer in play. Hey Garrett, how's it going? I don't know. I think they run that. I'm gonna do this now because I don't know if they run Dispel or Negate, but I know that they're gonna run the Wizard's Counterspell. I don't want them to draw one more card before. I'd rather them have it now than have it later, if you know what I mean. Wow, that is. We went from drawing well to not drawing well at all here. We needed some Finks there. Okay, dead on board. So yeah, it's nearly 4 p.m. So for me, it's 10:44. East Coast time. I like Sin Collector here. I'm intrigued by Anafenza. She does not die to Bolt. I like Scavenging Ooze because a lot of my creatures are going to die. I'm going to cut Cords and Ballista, although Ballista actually does kill a lot of the creatures, so I might just keep that as a fair card. I'm going to cut some Druids and Vizier, just right off the bat. Gideon's intriguing. Knight of Autumn is intriguing. I think I want to kind of treat this like a burn deck, so I think I kind of like the Knight of Autumn here. I think I'll go like this. The reason I'm cutting a Duskwatch over the other Druid is Druid is a removal magnet, which is great. But Druid, if she sticks, not only has a chance to still have me combo off, very slim chance, but still a chance. But most importantly, she is double mana, so I can get a company. Which is kind of like having a Karoo land and Amulet. So we actually had a turn 3 win in hand there. I'll keep this turn 1 bird with a bunch of companies. I'll keep this on the play. Reserve my life total. I'll catch up on the chat in just a second. Hey Keen. Coco main phase. Hope they don't draw a counter. Yeah, so I Coco main phased there. They yeah. So they had less of a chance of having the counter in hand. I actually do that quite a bit. I'm just going to attack here. I'm not going to block a Delver with my bird, so I might as well just swing in for 1. They might try and Blood Moon, so I probably should have played the Windswept Heath to get a basic Plains, which is more important than the Verdant, but I do have 2 Dorks in play. If they try and Blood Moon me, I'm going to fetch a basic Forest off this Verdant, but I honestly don't think it's that valuable. Sure. Okay. So I'm going to Ewit into either a land or a Dork. I don't know why they didn't attack. Beautiful. I'm just going to cast Ewit to put a body on the table, and because she does give me some value here. I have another land, so I will grab the bird. Bird can block all their flyers. How did I punt? Because of Blood Moon? I still have the basic forest, so I can still cast Galactic Company even under Blood Moon, which is, with 2 companies in hand, it's all I need. Opponent punt. Okay. Yeah, opponent definitely punted. So They have a Mutavault. I don't think they run Blood Moon, just looking at what they have right now. I think I'm going to attack for 2, and then I'm going to cast Company now, because if I remember correctly, Wizard's Retort is blue, and they do not have 2 blue mana up. So I'm going to cast Company right now. Before combat, in case I hit a Noble. Beautiful. Sin Collector grabs something from their hand. Knight of Autumn can gain me some life. I can get a Duskwatch Recruiter to refill my hand. I don't need to refill my hand. I have a Company. So Knight of Autumn. And I'll Sin Collector you. And I am going to gain life because a 4/3 still dies to Bolt. Hey, Keen. So I sided out 2 Druids. I sided all my Chords. Any matchup where my opponent's going to have a lot of spot removal, I side out my Chords. And I'm going to take their Is It Charm, because Is It Charm counters my Collected Company. So actually, normally I would take out Walking Ballista in a matchup like this. Like if this was Is It Phoenix, I'd take out Ballista. But my opponent has so many X1s in their deck that even just like a 2/2 Ballista can wipe through their board and can be a nice 2 or 3 for 1 for me. Sure. Yes, so I kind of brought in like my anti-burn package. I brought in Sin Collectors and Knight of Autumns because their win condition is going to be to burn me to death. That's why I just gained 4 life off the Knight of Autumn. Plus, against any removal heavy deck, and like a bolt heavy deck, an X3 isn't any better here. I'm going to swing for both. And then again, when they're not showing double blue for the counter magic, I will cast Company now in my main phase. If they have Anger of the Gods, then I'll be in a little bit of trouble, but I'll still have some value here. Okay, that might be that really hurt. That really hurt. Why not put Ballista in the graveyard? I could. Now rely upon my... I want to naturally draw Ballista if I can. And if I draw an Eternal Witness, I'm probably Eternal Witnessing back either a Path or a Collected Company. I don't want an Eternal Witness. Yep, this is rough. Okay, so they're tapped out. I'll Path this. It's slightly bigger. Again, Walking Ballista is much better against Nimble Obstructionist. And I'm just gonna... Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I whiff so much on stream. Like, it's just not... It's not appropriate how much I whiff. So I can knock my opponent down to 9. Then if they attack, right, because this will counter itself out, and that 2 life gain will do that, they can knock me down to 4. They have 2 cards in hand. I think I'm just going to swing with 1 creature here, just to put them down to 11. I want to get them down to striking distance, where it's a situation where if I... Like, let's say my best case scenario is over the course of 2 turns, I'm able to draw... Yeah, I don't think Vizier is going to actually save. I want to draw a Gavney Township here, and then have over the next turn or so. So I'm just trying to keep a little pressure on because I want to be able to alpha strike them if I can. And I still am representing blockers on both their Mutavaults here. Yeah, Frank Carson recommends 20. I think it's 22, and then you have like a 3 or 4% whiff chance. So I'm gonna start off with a bird, and then I'll play the Knight of Autumn after. I know Vizier works with Kitchen Finks, but we're playing against a removal heavy deck. I doubt we're gonna be able to keep Vizier alive. Knight of Autumn here though really changes the math. What were my targets of Coco? So I cited out 4 chords and I brought in 4 paths, so it's the exact same spell to non-spell ratio. I run 21 lands, 9, eight non-creature spells. It's up to 29. And then I run the Shalai and the Walking Ballista, so it's 31. So I have 29 hits. Way more than Frank Carson recommends. Again, just trying to put pressure on them. If I want to get to the point where they have to consider chump blocking. Okay. All right. Bolt and I'm dead. A shock and I'm dead. Carson, I believe Carson said don't go lower than 22. Okay. All right. Well, we lost to Blue-Red Wizards. Let's pull that up. Abzan Company. All right. What's the next deck? Blue-Red Wizards. Lost in 2. Yeah, Wizards is a tough matchup. Any book recommendations that aren't Sanderson? Well, at some point you can read my book. What are you looking for? If you're looking for a cheesy childhood type fantasy style book, I really like David Eddings' The Bulgarian and the Malorian. I really love those books as a child. As an adult, rereading them, they're overly simplistic and way too the chosen hero. But if you just want a simple book to like fall asleep to, they're really good. Name of the Wind with Patrick Rothfuss is pretty good. I really like his prose. It's interesting that I really don't like Quoth. I don't know how to pronounce Kvothe. Quoth. I really don't like the main character, but I like the books. I just wish he was finished with them. I started Wheel of Time. I couldn't get into it. I do like, again, if you're interested in like just kind of an easier read, I'm a fan of the guy who does all the D&D books, the Dritz series, Salvatore. Rothfuss is interesting, but I do think if we hadn't missed, jumping back to the, I do think if we hadn't whiffing on Company is a death sentence. Like it's just like, it's like casting Scape Shift and resolving nothing. Like it just, you're gonna lose. So, all right. The problem is that he's like the exact opposite of Sanderson. He produces like 1 book every 10 years, or whatever his rate is. He's got 2 books out of his trilogy, and his trilogy is really just a prequel. So you're gonna get your heart set on this beautiful world and these interesting magic system, and there's a great community following all of his theories and everything else. It's just you have to wait. With Sanderson, you're like, all right, he's gonna write 10 more books, but he's writing one a year, so I just have to wait 10 years. So yeah, he did have instant success, which is great. I mean, his prose is great. I love everything. You can tell he's put everything into his books. It's great. What else do I like reading? I mean, if you want to get away from the fantasy genre, you can go and do some like Milan Kundera, The Unbearable Lightness of Being. That book is phenomenal, especially if you have any interest in philosophy. What are we jumping into here? I mean, being a full-time writer is really hard. So, I mean, I'm working on my fantasy epic, and I'm like close to 500 pages in to what should be a 1,000 page book, and I've been working on it for years. I think since 2012, and I haven't finished it yet. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you be a full-time writer. I think it's just really hard. Suggestions: play Coco again. We could do Coco. We could just do a different Coco list too. The Magicians. I saw the TV show. I didn't love the TV show. I heard the books are better though. Yeah, let's do some Sultai. We can do some Sultai fairies here.